It's St. John's Day. The Mets honoring the Big East basketball champions. The club is out there, just met with Carlos Mendoza and the club. They're meeting with fans right now. Hall of Fame head coach Rick Pitino is there. Captain Zuby Ejiofor will throw out the ceremonial first pitch, and will throw it to St. John's alum and longtime Mets relief pitcher, 7th all-time in saves out of Brooklyn, New York. That's John Franco. Rick Pitino going in there right now, meeting with the Mets, Carlos Mendoza, and the whole club. They're good enough to go out on the field and freeze it out for us on a pretty chilly day. Guys, it's a pleasure to welcome into MLB Now. It's Hall of Fame head coach Rick Pitino, this year's National Coach of the Year, Mets Hall of Famer John Franco. Rick, John, it's Brian Kenny. Great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, Rick, let's start off. Congratulations on the season. You grew up a few miles from there. Met fan or Yankee fan growing up?
Yankee fan.
You were? All right.
Yes.
Shea Stadium's like a couple of miles away, but you're a Yankee fan.
Well, I lived in the summertime. I lived with my grandmother in the Bronx.
Okay.
And with my 2 girl cousins, I was in the bleachers with Mickey Mantle, Maris, Kubek, Richardson, all those guys back in the day. Cletus Boyer at third.
Wow.
But
yeah.
I became a Met fan with Seaver and Kuzman, Tommy Agee,
right.
Certainly the man to my right. And you know, I root for both teams. I'm one of those. We don't like the Red Sox, and Red Sox don't like the Yankees, but Yankee fans, I think, by and large, root for the Mets.
Yeah, you have a primary and a secondary, and you was a Yankee fan right away, but you're wearing the right shirt. You have a Tom Terrific shirt on there. So, you were a basketball star at St. Dominic's on Long Island. You played for Ralph Willard. So you have a lot of memories of Shea Stadium and Yankee Stadium. There you are at St. Dom's. Tell me, I used to go and there was the stanchions at Yankee Stadium, right? You would go back to the old stadium.
Yes, the old stadium. Actually, I didn't play for Ralph Willard. I played for Tom McCory and Pat McGonigal. Ralph was one of my closest friends, my later on ex-assistant coach, both at Louisville, and certainly one of the better coaches himself in the game.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were there in those years. All right. John, did you start going back to St. John's basketball this year? Were you there a lot?
I went last year when Coach first took over. You can see how things were turning around from last year. And then this year, you know, I went to quite a few games, sat behind the bench and watched him coach, and he'd be a great guy to play for. If he was a major league coach, you would love playing for him because he demands a lot of his players. He's no BS. He tells you how it is, and that's how you respect the guy, and that's how he gets the best out of his players. So I enjoyed going to the games, rooting them on. They had a great year this year as an alumni, and all the alumni. We've been waiting a long time for the program to turn around. So we're just so happy that the team had a great year this year.
And John, your St. John's days, you played in the glory days of St. John's baseball. You and Frank Viola. That was a pretty good stat. Did you start or did you finish games for Frank, or did he finish all the games? What was your role then?
I got to tell you, I was a starter, and I still hold the record. The only freshman to pitch 2 no-hitters his freshman year. So,
nice.
I was a starter. Frankie was a starter. I don't think we didn't lose too many games in those 3 years that we were there, and we were the last team to go to the College World Series in 1980. Wow.
So, and of course, the matchup, Frankie V and Ron Darling. We usually have Ron Darling out here, too. You'll see him today, I think. I want to throw your record up there. Kid out of Brooklyn, 1984 to 1997. Actually, I did go 98. 15 full years. You had a 2.64 ERA, averaging 26 saves a year, 66 innings per season. That ERA plus 100 is league average, years astronomical at 148. So give me, what do you remember best about being a Met, John? What memories do you have when you walk through Queens now?
It's just a lot of memories. You know, I grew up taking a 7 train with my brother, sitting in the upper deck. Then once getting traded to the team that you rooted for, and like Coach said before, the Tom Seavers, the Kuzman, the 69 Mets, that was my favorite team. And then coming back here, you know, I'm one of the ambassadors. I'm one of the, work with the alumni. I go to spring training. Carlos was nice enough to invite me to spring training this year to work with some of the young players. So it's just great to have that tradition and then be part of it.
I remember this best. You were the Barry Bonds antidote. Rick, hopefully you can see this here. John faced him in the Division Series 2000. You probably saw this. Game 2, Game 3, striking out Barry Bonds. What do you remember, John?
Well, I remember that the pitch before that, if he would have hit it, he would have landed in Oakland, so I didn't want to throw that same pitch. And that's the first time I ever threw Barry a changeup. I faced him a number of times. And I remember Mike putting down fastball down, and I said, there's no way I'm throwing a fastball again. And I threw a changeup, and I got him looking. And then the next game, I think he was looking for the changeup, and I got him with a high fastball. So it was a good time. Barry and I had some great battles.
Yeah, not many people doing that to Barry in those years. Like nobody doing that. And Rick, I've heard you mention this before, but again, you won the Big East regular season before winning the tournament as well. Last time that happened, I was going there, and I'm in the Chris Mullin, Bill Wennington days. What does it mean to you now that you've gotten hopefully to process it a little bit? Like, what stands out from this season, being able to be in New York and be able to accomplish what you were?
Well, obviously what took place between the lines was very special. But really what amazed me the most was what took place outside the lines. From going on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon to sold out Madison Square Garden to all the different, from being Slam Magazine, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, I think the back page of the New York Post 25 times. So the media coverage with all different types of media outlets and the selling out of Madison Square Garden. And certainly we had a blast going on Jimmy Fallon and the Tonight Show. So much outside the lines that was quite special. And today, being in Citi Field and watching the Mets keep their streak alive, I hope, watching Zuby Eckerford throw out the first pitch. John's going to catch him, and he has no protection, so let's hope he throws it high.
Can he throw?
I was giving him some lessons downstairs in the cage. We got him there. We're hopefully that he reaches on a fly, but that's he's come a long way since we first started earlier today.
Good. John's in pretty good shape, you can see. So I think we'll maybe wear that coat as protection in there. Rick, again, congratulations on the season, National Coach of the Year, and John, always great seeing you. Have fun today, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Take
All
care.
right.